What's the latest you're hearing on the Maple Leafs front as we get closer to Friday's deadline here?
Wide net. They're exploring all their options as far as I can tell. Whether it's trying to make a bigger splash, trying to add some pieces from a depth side of things, and from depth, it's not like a fourth line, guy that's going to be in and out of the lineup. Like depth is in third line level talent. So they've got a bunch of things they have to juggle. The other thing they have to consider as part of all of this, they don't have cap space. So anything big is going to result in somebody leaving the roster. We'll see kind of where things go. They're in Vegas. They were supposed to stay Wednesday after the game and leave on Friday, I think it was. Now they're leaving after the game to Colorado. They kind of readjusted their schedule a little bit. Maybe it's because the deadline's coming up. They don't want anybody distracted. Although Dirk Bentley, Whiskey Row in Denver, good spot. That said, they're chasing all their options. And Brad and everybody, they're looking to see what they have, whether it's paying a premium to try to get, Braden Shen, whether it's looking at Seattle. We know they've talked to the Kraken about Tanev and Gord. And Seattle's willing to retain they have 3 spots, and they're willing to retain on both Gord and Tanev, and maybe even another, because they're listening on guys with term. Jamie Alexiak has been a point of interest for a while. So if they want to go a little bit bigger, they've got flexibility because Seattle's willing to retain. But again, they're looking at alternative options. Ryan Donato in Chicago, $2 million cap hit. There are a lot of different balls up in the air, and a lot can change in a short period of time. I know nobody wants to hear that, but it literally one phone call, one text message, and away you go. I talked to Don Waddell over the weekend, and that's exactly what he reiterated, because we go through all these conversations, all this back and forth, and one quick text message. Oh, all right. Well, yeah, that works. It's the name of the game, and everybody tries to outsmart each other. And then at the end of it, they just say, all right, the hell with this. Let's just do this.
I did have my eyes on the Seattle game on Tuesday night for a variety of reasons, but Yanni Gourde just rushing his way back, get me the fuck out of here is my read on that situation. But I think he would make a lot of sense for the Leafs. I think Tampa would probably sniff around in that department, considering the familiarity there. But from the get-go, it just felt like Seattle was a logical trade partner. I don't know if it's going to happen, but there's a lot of pieces on that team that would make sense for Toronto, I think.
Yeah, there are. I mean, again, Alexiak, they've asked about some other players. I don't think they're going in those types of directions. But, Jaden Schwartz even, he's got another year on his deal. He's a winger. And what did we hear about in the beginning of the season? It was wing. Keep Jonathan Tavares at center and get somebody on the wing to play with him in the second line. That's also an option they're considering. So there's a lot of different variables in play here. But if you're going to make a bigger move, well, Nick, you got to pay the price. So are you prepared to give up a Cowan, a Minton, a Danford, your first round pick? I know they don't want to really move their first round pick. A lot of teams, unless it's a hell of a deal, a lot of teams are reluctant to move their 2026 pick. So because it's such a deeper draft, at least that's what's projected. And talking to agents, they're hyping their guys up for next year already. So again, you got to pay a price, and we'll see if they're willing to do it. I do expect the Leafs to make a move or two. It's just difficult to determine right now. Do they go for the second line? Do they go for third line? Do they bring in another right shot D to kind of balance things out? There are a few things they're looking at, and everything's on the table right now.
Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long-form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Roseau. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.